Hey folks, thanks for stopping by Dave's Other Stuff today. Today I'm going to be talking about my new Royal Enfield Classic 350 in Halcyon Grey. Well, it's new to me anyway. I picked up a 2022 with only 870 miles on it. Just listen to this beauty. And as a side note, I picked this up at a place called Alpha Cars in Boxborough, Massachusetts. Amazing dealership. The best vehicle purchase I've ever done in my life. Grisha, the sales guy, he spent over an hour and a half with me going over all the details of every bike I was looking at, setting up test rides. He was great. The folks in the office, Heather, Mary, and Mackenzie, all of them were great. The paperwork went through super fast, and they were just amazing to deal with. And I even got to meet the owner, Dimitri, who was so thankful for my business. You can tell he's very proud of his dealership. The place is beautiful. I recommend you stop by just to look at the showroom, but I hope you go there and buy a bike. Now, I will tell you that I've become a Royal Enfield super fan. I fell in love with this bike at Alpha Cars when I test drove it. I bought it on the spot, and a friend of mine told me once you become a Royal Enfield owner, it'll probably start an obsession, and he was absolutely right, because this whole video is how I wanted to make a perfect Royal Enfield logo to put in my garage. So what I did was, I decided I was going to clean up this corner of my garage and put all my riding gear here, so I could just wheel my bike out and grab everything right there while it was warming up for a minute or two. So I picked up some plain pine planking just to make this corner smooth and clean, nothing fancy. But the big thing is, I wanted to put a Royal Enfield logo here, and I didn't want a sign and I didn't want a sticker. I wanted to stain it right into the wood. I don't know why, it's just something I felt like doing, and here's how I did it. Now, to save a lot of time, let's just say my first attempt didn't work. So, plan B, I decided to use paint on the main body of the logo, and I decided I was going to make it all weathered and old and worn looking, and use a different Royal Enfield logo as a stencil so that the dark stain would show through after painting. Then I just hit it with some rough sandpaper to make it look all worn and stayed away from the edges and the Royal Enfield logo. And you can see this time it came out great. The edges are nice and crisp, and I love the way it came out. And finally I hit it with some red stain to give it a little bit of a rusty look, even though it's wood. I don't know why, I just like the way it looked. Then just did a final hit with some light sandpaper and paint thinner to really blend out the white. And finally I just got some helmet hangers and some open storage bins from Amazon, mounted all the hangers, and then hung up all my gear. And here is my finished gear corner and my perfect Royal Enfield logo. Alright, it may not be perfect, but it's perfect for me, and I love the character that it gives that corner of the garage. I might touch it up a little bit later, but for the most part, I'm really happy with it. Woohoo! Now be sure to stay tuned for my next video when I explain why the front fender of my Classic is black, and how I stencil on a Halcyon Grey color-matched logo. Thanks for watching.